Alright, so chapter number 2 is what is called explaining utterances. Uh, Within reading the book, you'll realize that utterance it can be defined as a speech or the ability to speak. So utterances is meaning is not that uh, I don't see it as something that can be defined with words, but it can be defined with actions. And the action of utterance is to speak or produce a speech. There are several steps that our brain goes through when we try to speak, and those several steps can be defined on different ways as well. The thing here is that planning utterances is the way your brain where's the book again, the little brain that I draw. Just give me a second here. Well, anyway, we'll use this little fella called named Butters. So the way we plan utterances, it happens right here in your head. So the brain, when we try to do a speech, our brains start to conceptualizing everything. There are several examples on how sometimes we just don't think what we are about to say, and we spill it out. Some other times we identify first an object, or in this case, I just have this little cat. So sometimes we just think about something, in this case an animal, and then after getting the image, our brain starts getting the words, the right words to spell them out. Alright, sometimes our brain doesn't get the word right, so then it starts making, or it starts looking for the sounds that are going to be defining the object that we have in our head. So first we look for the pronunciation or the sounds in our brain, and then we spell out the actual name, in this case the cat. So that's how planning utterances happens on our brain. We can find out sometimes how our brain can affect this information into subordination when giving a sentence. I don't want to be very complex on these examples though. The complexity of the language is when our brain is giving certain information to some other person. For example, let's say that Butters is trying to hide something to Mr. Kenny right here. So then Butters is going to make a complexity of sentence, and Kenny is going to be asking why Butters is talking like so weird. So that's the complexity of the sentence, when you give certain information but not the complete information. For example, let's say that Kenny used to have a hamster as a pet, and then Butters just say, well, so I'm just staring here because he hunted the animal. Kenny is asking what animal. So then you're giving a level of difficulty to Kenny to understand what Butters is trying to say. That is a subordination of the words that you have on a person. Maybe he's trying to think that somebody went to hunt, I don't know, a deer or a goat on the mountains. But what he's actually trying to hide is that a cat actually killed the pet of Kenny, and Kenny is not realizing because he is just giving certain information that is uh, making subordinate the making a subordination on the brain, on the information that he has on his head. So everyone can do that when you don't speak clearly and then you just give certain information. And I think it's a good representation when someone is trying to hide something else to somebody. So that's what planning utterances is. You know, the